everybody, and welcome back to the Posture Project. As always, I'm your host, Justin Archer, aka the Posture Guy, your #1 source on pain, posture, and performance. And I know it looks like I'm getting ready to host a cooking show, but actually we're just in the kitchen because it's a little gloomy outside, and this was the best lighting today. And I have a washcloth with me because, as you can tell from the title of this post, we're going to be talking about thoracic and pelvic counter-rotation, otherwise known as the wrung out washcloth posture. And rotation, I think, is really important to talk about because when people first come to me, sometimes they're in such a great deal of pain that it kind of blocks them from understanding that we're going to be focusing on treating the cause of the problem, i.e. their posture, to relieve and eventually eliminate their symptom, whatever their symptom may be, back, hip, shoulder, et cetera, et cetera. And what they don't understand is actually the first goal that I try to accomplish when I'm sequencing an exercise routine for someone is to remove rotation from their body. And the two places where rotation causes the most damage is in the thoracic or torso upper body and in the pelvis. This is especially true when they're counter-rotated. So imagine if your upper body was thoracically rotated right to left, so right side forward like this, and then the lower body or the pelvic area was rotated left to right, so like this, okay? So now my lower body is rotated this way, my upper body is rotated this way, okay? Well, imagine, or even if it's only 10% of this, let's kind of go less exaggerative, and imagine going through your day in that counter-rotated position, sitting like that, walking like that, running like that, trying to go and work out, if you have do any type of physical labor type of job. So imagine, if you would, this is your body. Let's actually fold it up once, like so. And it's twisted, okay? And now you do some physical activity that basically tenses the muscle stronger, and it twists a little bit more, and it twists a little bit more, and it just twists and twists and twists, right? And that's your body. And you can imagine if I had any type of liquid, like say water, in this washcloth, there'd be water spilling out below. That's basically, your energy. That's why people who are counter-rotated and their bodies are kind of being wrung out like a washcloth, they have a very low amount of energy, is because they have to compensate so much. And actually, rotation is a form of compensation of the body. So maybe someone's pelvically rotated because their foot is pronates, right? It goes on the inside, or maybe they have valgus stress on one knee, where kind of otherwise known as knock knee, where the knee comes inside of the hip and ankle joint. So as a way to compensate for that dysfunction, they rotate their pelvis right side forward, okay? But then over time, their body goes into another layer of compensating motion, and their upper left torso, or thorax, if you will, rotates left side forward. So now you've got this counter rotation. And again, these are the biggies, right? The pelvis and the torso that we're talking about rotating. But then these could lead to rotation in the shoulder joint, rotation in the knee joint. I mean, obviously, if your pelvis is rotated one side forward, then imagine the knee below it, what it's going to have to do when you're walking in a straight line. To go from point A to point B, now your knee is going to have to not just be a knee joint, not just a hinge joint, but now it's going to have to torque and rotate. And rotation is the #1 thing that causes symptoms in people's bodies. There's other causes, but rotation is the main thing. And what I found through experience is that if we can remove someone's rotation, within the first hour of working together, then their pain is going to be greatly reduced, possibly even eliminated. So that's the first thing we try to address when I work with a client. So I've actually prepared an exercise routine down below the video, 6 exercises, and it's designed to remove rotation both in the pelvic region and also up in the torso, or kind of thoracic back area. And when you remove that rotation, you're going to feel a lot better. And an easy way to tell if you are rotated is simply lie down in the static back position. It's actually one of the exercises down below. And when you lay down, kind of go through a couple checks, if you will, in your body. Ask yourself, does the weight in your hips on the ground, kind of in your lower back and buttocks region, do they feel even against the ground, or does one side feel heavier? If your right side feels heavier into the ground, then obviously your right hip and pelvic area is rotated backwards, your left is rotated forward. And ask that same question about your upper body. If, let's say, your left shoulder is in the ground more and your right shoulder blade and kind of upper body feels lighter, then you're probably rotated right side forward, all right? But as you do these exercises, then you can go through them again or just go back to the static back position and test out, and you should feel your body more evenly making contact with the ground, left to right, from top to bottom, and even weight distribution all across your body. More contact points, and it's almost going to feel heavier and more planted on the ground. All right? So give those exercises a try, and try that little test in the static back or even standing with your balance, and also test your symptom before doing the exercises and afterwards. And then let me know in the comment section below how it felt afterwards compared to before. All right? Anyways, thanks for joining me inside today's video. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you later on this week. Until then, take care and keep moving.